Good evening. Welcome to the 2023 Living Legends Celebration. Please give a warm welcome to Ken White.
Hello. Good evening. Good evening. It's great to see all of you. I love to see the sparkles and the shimmers and the glitz. I love it. We're here to party and celebrate. Good evening. You know who I am. I'm Ken White, President of the American Academy of Nursing. And on behalf of our wonderful board of directors, it is our pleasure to extend a warm welcome to you for our annual Academy Awards and Living Legends ceremony. I always wanted to say that, Academy Awards. Honoring individuals who have made extraordinary contributions to health and health care demonstrates the importance of our work as nurses and the value we place on ensuring the patient is at the center of our care. For these awardees and living legends, they have made it their personal mission to change care practices, design innovative models of care delivery, and advocate for policy change at every turn. Their impact has improved the lives of countless individuals around the world, and we have the privilege to call them colleagues and friends. As a board, it is an exceedingly challenging task to select individuals for these high honors because nurses on every continent need more praise for what they have done to advance innovation and progress in the name of public health. Thank you. Tonight, we begin by honoring the Academy's 2023 award winners. The ability to recognize these incredible individuals in such a special way, especially as we celebrate the Academy's 50th anniversary, which would not be possible without the generous support of our sponsors. Deep appreciation is extended to Cedars-Sinai and the Columbia School of Nursing. Thank you, yes, for their investment in tonight's event. Their generosity allows us to share with the larger community that nursing knowledge is key to reforming healthcare systems. And now, before we begin the Living Legends festivities, I am privileged to honor tonight's recipient of the Academy's Healthcare Leader Award. Created in 2008, this award recognizes an influential national leader dedicated to improving the health of the nation through contributions to organizational excellence. This year's award goes to Kevin Sowers. Mr. Sowers' name is synonymous with organizational excellence, the path he took to his current position as president of the Johns Hopkins Health System and Executive Vice President of Johns Hopkins Medicine, tells the story of a nurse who is dedicated to change at every level. As the second person in Johns Hopkins history to hold these dual roles, Mr. Sowers oversees the health system's 6 hospitals and sets strategies that advance the mission of delivering outstanding care, educating the next generation of leaders, and advancing research and discovery. The change that Mr. Sowers has championed through his practice and leadership roles is not only intentional, but speaks to his deep understanding of health equity and innovation. Mr. Sowers is a visionary in every way. He has served each and every community that he has been part of with dedication, compassion, and intelligence. Over the course of his career, starting early on as a staff nurse in oncology, Mr. Sowers became a distinguished clinician, understanding the importance of balancing the best science with the most compassion, all to lift the human spirit of those he cared for. Mr. Sowers spent over 3 decades at the Duke University Health System, 8 of those years as president and chief executive officer. During his tenure at Duke, he held multiple leadership roles, such as director of medical oncology and director of a cancer care consortium. Because of his central focus on the patient, he ushered in vast improvements to patient satisfaction, clinical quality of care, and creating a workforce culture where staff felt valued and appreciated. Mr. Sowers is also dedicated to the importance of education and serving as a mentor to the next generation of nurses, and I will also add to healthcare administrators. He's taken many of my former students. Holding faculty positions at the University of North Carolina, Gillings School of Global Public Health, and Duke University Fuqua School of Business, as well as the Duke University's Graduate School of Nursing, he knows that it takes an interdisciplinary team of leaders across all sectors, such as business, public health, and nursing, to make a difference in health and health equity. Mr. Sowers has long understood the important role academic and community health centers play in the care of the communities they serve. Active in many professional and community organizations, Mr. Sowers is a member of the Vizient Board of Directors and the AAMC Council of Teaching Hospitals and Health Systems Administrative Board. He has also held leadership roles with the American Heart Association, Susan G. Komen, and the Oncology Nursing Society. Mr. Sowers is a nurse who embraces the true meaning of servant leadership. On a more personal note, many of you heard Dr. Sowers' incredibly powerful and moving opening keynote he provided the Academy in 2020. As we all sat in our homes, separated from family and friends because of the pandemic, Mr. Sowers gave us all hope with his message of compassion, his vision for leadership, and of course, his beautiful rendition of Charlie Chaplin's song, Smile. Remember that? Lifted us all up. In those lyrics and in his message of hope, we all knew, smile, what's the use of crying? You'll find that life is still worthwhile if you just smile. Mr. Sowers, it is a pleasure to have you accept this award.
So I'm truly honored to be here this evening. And I have a brief moment to give remarks, and the first remark is to my mother. Because when I chose to become a nurse back in the late 70s, men were not nurses. And you all would agree with that. And my father was a macho farmer in mid-Ohio. And when I announced that I wanted to become a nurse, my father said that that was a woman's job. And one of the reasons I stand before you today is because of my mother. My mother said to my father, it doesn't matter whether you're a man or a woman, it really matters whether you have the compassion to care. And that was the only discussion we ever had about me becoming a nurse. So that should tell you something about the relationship between my mother and father. Secondly, I stand here before you because of the incredible mentors I've had in my life that have really supported me and made me and pushed me into situations that were uncomfortable because they saw something in me that I did not see in myself. Because when I became a nurse, being the president of Johns Hopkins Health System was not something that was even possible. So I'm reminded of the word impossible and what happens when you put an apostrophe between the I and the M. And impossible becomes I'm possible. So when I think about the opportunity for nurses today, everything is possible. I stand before you today and accepting this award because of the incredible leaders and teams that surround me. You are only successful as a leader because of the people who are around you that make the organization and the service to our patients and their families possible. And so you can never forget the people who brought you to this moment in time, both at Duke and at Johns Hopkins Hospital and Health System. And last but not least, for those of you who've done this for a long time, you know there's the professional side and there's the personal side. I could not have done this without an incredibly supportive partner. Because on the personal side, you know those late nights when the phone rings and you're asleep and you have to take the phone call, or you're at dinner and what turns out to be what was supposed to be a 5-minute call turns into a half-hour call. You have to have a very understanding person in your life that really makes a difference in supporting you and who you want to be professionally and who you want to be personally. And I can't thank Anthony enough for being there in my life and supporting me. So thank you for this recognition. Thank you for this recognition. I was honored when they called because I was trying to figure out why'd they call me. I mean, I just did my job, which is a typical nurse response, by the way. We would all say that, but I'm grateful for this recognition, this reward. Thank you all so much.
Thank you, Kevin, for your dedication to creating a healthcare system that values the health of patients and improves the lives they live. And please keep singing and bringing joy to others through your musical talents. Next, I am privileged to honor tonight's recipients of the Academy's Lifetime Legacy Award. Created in 2019, this award recognizes extraordinary individuals who have dedicated their life to advocating for positive health system change. I am pleased to bestow the first of these awards to Jeri Milstead. Thank you. Dr. Milstead is an internationally recognized expert in public policy and the politics of healthcare. Over the course of her storied career, she has made an impact on the profession through her dedication to patient care, and the importance of ensuring nursing's voice is central to changing policies that impact health and healthcare delivery. She is a trailblazer, a tireless advocate, and a dedicated mentor. Dr. Milstead embodies all that we hope to aspire to as leaders. Having served as an advisor to the late U.S. Senator Daniel Inouye on nursing and healthcare issues, Dr. Milstead understood that nurses must understand the policy process, how it works, and the drivers for change. As part of her position in the Senator's office, she engaged in conversations related to federal funding, serving as a staff liaison to the Appropriations Subcommittee for Labor, Health, and Human Services, Education, and related agencies. From this and other experiences at the federal, state, and local levels, Dr. Milstead became incredibly committed to helping more nurses understand policy, and that without the voice of nursing, our unique expertise is lost. What better way to evoke change than to educate? Dr. Milstead was Dean and Professor Emerita at the University of Toledo College of Nursing, or is Dean Emerita. Prior to her roles at the University of Toledo, she served as Director of Graduate Programs at Duquesne University and as a former faculty member at Clemson University. One of Dr. Milstead's crowning achievements as an educator is her celebrated textbook. She's the founding editor and senior author of Health Policy and Politics, A Nurse's Guide, that is sold in 22 countries. Published in 1999, Published in 1999 as the first textbook of nurse research and policy theory, the book has become the seminal resource for educating graduate students on the importance of linking practice to policy. Expanding her impact further, Dr. Milstead has been a leader internationally. From 2005 to 2008, she served on the Toledo-Lucas County Port Authority, where she was a member of a trade delegation to China. In 2020, she worked with nurses in Albania, Croatia, Italy, Panama, Portugal, and Rwanda to share insights and strategies on how to effectively change policy. Her lessons help those nurses increase their involvement in the policy process in their countries, and they have made a difference in their own communities. Dr. Milstead's commitment to global health continues through her work on the Academy's Global Nursing and Health Expert panel, where she co-authored papers and guidelines for culturally safe and supportive care and expanding the nurse's role in responding to global pandemics. In 2020, she was inducted into the American Nurses Association's Hall of Fame in recognition of her sustained contribution to the profession. That's a big deal. Dr. Milstead is a nurse who moved the profession to a broader vision as a major player in the policy arena. If I can share from a personal perspective, I've had the opportunity to get to know Dr. Milstead more closely over the past 2 years of my presidency. Her generosity of time, advice, and warmth has been greatly appreciated. She is a leader among leaders. Dr. Milstead, it is a pleasure to have you accept this award, and all my love.
Thank you, President White, and the Academy Board, and our CEO, our wonderful CEO, Suzanne Miyamoto, for this wonderful, wonderful award. I want to also thank my phenomenal family who are here tonight, my 4 children, their spouses, and 2 nieces, and believe me, they are the glitziest bunch here and so much fun. Thank you. There are many threads and patches in the tapestry of my professional life. From Mount Carmel, where my initial entry into nursing came, The Ohio State University in the mid-'70s, during all of the nursing theory and nursing research that came to be standards in our profession, and also during civil rights, women's liberation, and Vietnam. It was a wonderful time to go back to school. And the University of Georgia for igniting my imagination of the importance of public policy to our profession. In 1999, the first theory and research-based policy textbook for nurses actually became alive, and through some succession planning, I thank Dr. Nancy Short for continuing the vision. In 2005, one of 5 members of the Nightingale formed a Nightingale Policy Institute, a virtual, in 1905, believe it, a virtual gathering of nurses across the country with experience and interest in public policy, who provided legislative alerts and information through email. That was the hottest thing going at the time. So Nancy Sharp, thank you for being here. She was one of our founders. Over 25 years of working with the longest-serving member of Congress, the longest-serving woman member of Congress, Marcy Kaptur, a hands-on legislation with Ohio Senator Feder and Representative Peter Uvagi, and Dr. Patrick de Leon and other national and international policy leaders. The evolution of ANA Ohio, that as of June 2023 became ANA's only and newest state constituent, thanks to President Becky Patton for that, and our wonderful colleagues, many are here tonight. And I can't forget the tribal elders. I belong to a group of 10 of us who we never worked together. And I'm not quite sure how we ever got together, but when COVID started, we decided we needed to stay together, and we have Zoomed every Wednesday at 11 o'clock. Since then, we continue to do that, and they are the most wonderful, supportive. We talk about absolutely everything, most of which I would not admit to tonight. But this is not a Career Achievement Award that would focus on me and my individual things. This is a Lifetime Legacy Award. So the legacy is that this belongs to all of us, to you, to the next generation, and the next generation. That's the legacy. And for that, I am absolutely convinced that those of you who are in this audience tonight and those who will be coming in years to come get it. They know the link between practice and policy and how important that is to our profession. So I'm eternally grateful to be part of this wonderful, dynamic profession. And I want to thank again President White and the board and the Academy. What a wonderful organization. Thank you.
Yes. You hold on. I love you. Okay. I am honored to now recognize tonight's second awardee of the Lifetime Legacy Award. What I love about being president is I could give two. I just made that decision. It was hard, but we have a second one, and I'm happy to say the Lifetime Legacy Award now goes to Barbara Nichols. Ms. Nichols is a history maker, a game changer, and a trailblazer. Her illustrious career has spanned decades, 4 decades in leadership and policy, making positions within nursing and healthcare. She is a visionary and a champion for change. Throughout her career, Ms. Nichols has ensured that the voice of the profession, its expertise, and its science are at the highest level decision-making tables. From the U.S. to around the globe, Ms. Nichols has shown that to implement change, diversity in every aspect is vital. She has been a vocal advocate for ensuring the inclusion of racial and ethnic minority groups are represented in all aspects of the health professions and has led the way through her own leadership positions. Ms. Nichols was the first African-American nurse in 100 years to be president of the American Nurses Association. That's a big deal. In 1978, and the Wisconsin Nurses Association in 1970. In 1983, Ms. Nichols became the first African-American woman in Wisconsin to hold a cabinet-level position when she was appointed secretary of the Wisconsin Department of Regulation and Licensing. Breaking glass ceilings is a testament to her leadership, commitment, and service to the profession. Many of you likely recall her presentation last year at our health policy conference as she spoke about her time at ANA, where she served 2 terms as president, and the work of the Academy. She highlighted that our organization was diverse from the start and that she had been a part of growing our continued diversity. Her message of inclusion has been felt at every level. At the federal level, Ms. Nichols has been a consultant on credentials assessment and diversity to the Office of Minority Health and the U.S. Departments of Labor, State, and Homeland Security. At the national level, she currently serves as a diversity consultant to the Robert Wood Johnson Foundation and AARP's national implementation of the National Academy of Medicine's The Future of Nursing 2020 to 2030, Charting a Path to Achieve Health Equity. At the global level, yes. At the global level, Ms. Nichols was the former Chief Executive Officer of CGFNS International, whose expertise provides credential validation, scope of practice standards, and licensure of nurses and health professionals globally. In the state of Wisconsin, where she currently serves as the executive director for the Wisconsin Center for Nursing, Ms. Nichols' impact has been profound. She served as the executive director of the Wisconsin Nurses Association, and she founded the Wisconsin Society for Healthcare Education and Training, where she created innovative professional development curricula for nurses in the area. In 2015, she was a recipient of the City of Madison, Wisconsin's Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Humanitarian Award for her social justice advocacy. Thank you. Ms. Nichols is the recipient of 5 honorary doctoral degrees. Yes, 5. And numerous awards for her pioneering work, prolific publications, and sustained contributions to the delivery of healthcare in urban and rural settings. In 2010, Ms. Nichols became a living legend of the American Academy of Nursing. In 2022, she was inducted into the American Nurses Association Hall of Fame. It's a big deal. She was also inducted into the Institute of Excellence of the National Black Nurses Association. It is with great pleasure that we can honor an incredible nurse who to this day is a giant champion for equity, diversity, and inclusion, the nursing profession, and equitable health for all. Ms. Nichols, it is a pleasure to honor you with this award.
Wow. Thank you. Colleagues, honored guests, friends, and family, I am truly humbled, honored, and grateful to be the recipient of this most prestigious Lifetime Achievement Award. Footnote, you too can accomplish this if you live to be 85. What I've learned is I now got a new constituency group. I'm especially honored because I'm alive. And the emphasis is on alive. As you know, to receive this award, one must have slayed dragons, moved mountains, and walked on water. I have. I have slayed the dragon of stereotypes about blacks and nurses of color not being sufficiently intelligent to hold leadership positions. I have moved the needle to document, guess what? Blacks are intelligent and competent. And I have swam through the turbulent waters to achieve professional success by holding state, national, and international executive leadership positions. A brief footnote. You know, you always have to have your speech be annotated with correct facts. So, remember these facts. 2/3 of the world is non-white and non-Christian. And the 28 million nurses who function globally are women of color. And if you doubt me, I just would remind you, talk to China with a 1 billion population, talk to India with a 1 billion population, and the color problem is an American and white European problem. However, I have to be now, this is what I've learned, Barbara, you have to be socially correct. This is not the time to get the white folks told. You do that on another day. Not when you're being recognized. So now, note how proper I am. Anniversaries are moments steeped in tradition, magic and mystery, continuity and stability. And they provide the opportunity for an organization to acknowledge its past, affirm its presence, and acclaim its future. I understand that although the award acknowledges me, however, through me, it affirms the contributions of all nurses of color, but because I'm Black, especially for me, for Black nurses in America. And for my ancestors, I would like to say, I am the hope and the dream of my ancestors. For that, they never would have imagined that one whose ancestors are slaves have reached the highest pinnacle in nursing. And for that, I am enduringly grateful. So thank you for this tremendous honor. This is unscripted. I worked in the 1988 Jesse Jackson campaign for president, and one of the things that Jesse Jackson did is he always assured that he had a standing ovation. But this was wonderful because what Jesse would say is, now hear this, I want you to stand as I give you this important message. Keep hope alive.
Oh my goodness, thank you so much, Barbara and Jeri. One of my favorite things about being a president over the last couple of years is when I get to call the award winners and tell them that they've been selected to receive the awards that they're receiving tonight and tomorrow night. It's been an extreme pleasure for me. So thank you once again, Barbara and Jeri, for your extraordinary dedication to advocating for positive health system changes. Before we conclude this evening's award presentations and begin the Living Legends festivities, it is my pleasure to celebrate the recipient of this year's Outstanding Leadership Award. This distinction recognizes an honorary fellow for exemplary service and perseverance as a champion for the nursing profession. Winifred Quinn is extremely deserving of this award, as she is a true champion for transforming federal policy to improve access to health and healthcare through the nursing profession and amplifying the national call for equity, diversity, and inclusion. Dr. Quinn serves as Director for Advocacy and Consumer Affairs at the Center to Champion Nursing in America, an initiative of AARP Foundation, AARP, and the Robert Wood Johnson Foundation. She co-directs the Future of Nursing, Campaign for Action, an initiative of those same organizations that is building a healthier America through nursing. The campaign is guided by the landmark Future of Nursing reports by the Institute of Medicine in 2011 and the National Academy of Medicine in 2021. Dr. Quinn directs the campaign's strategies on stakeholder engagement, access to care and services, and building a diverse and inclusive nursing profession. Since the campaign launched, Dr. Quinn has helped the Action Coalition engage 2,200 organizations from multiple sectors, raising $130 million since 2011. Today, the campaign, with Dr. Quinn's dedication and impact, continues to improve by advancing policies that allow people to choose where to live, who to get care from, and how to obtain this care. As a recognized leader in policy and advocacy, she initiated a national coalition that led to Medicare funding for graduate-level nursing education within her work on nursing education provisions in the 2010 Patient Protection and Affordable Care Act. Dr. Quinn also created the campaign's winning strategies to help state-based coalitions achieve full practice authority for advanced practice registered nurses, including helping 14 states achieve full practice authority for APRNs. I appreciate that as an APRN. She also helped 5 states update their laws to allow registered nurses to delegate their tasks to home health aides. This work has improved access to care provided by APRNs for tens of millions of Americans, including Medicare beneficiaries, veterans, and their families. Dr. Quinn's work has driven immense change in the lives of nurses and patients across the country and continues to inspire and motivate quality and diverse nursing care with meaningful recognition. Dr. Quinn is also committed to equity, diversity, and inclusion by producing national convenings to discuss this work in healthcare and nursing. She leads the campaign's team that organizes mentoring support programs for historically Black colleges and universities, as well as Hispanic serving and American Indian, Native American serving schools of nursing. As an honorary fellow of the American Academy of Nursing, Dr. Quinn has been a dedicated champion of our work. She currently serves on the association's 50th anniversary committee. Thank you for that. And we thank her for her work to help envision last night's incredible celebration. She loves a good party. It is an honor to recognize Dr. Quinn with this award and gratitude for her continuing efforts to be a nurse champion for older adults and family caregivers, strengthening and diversifying the nursing profession and the current and future time she provides to the Academy's vision of healthy lives for all people. Dr. Quinn.
Ken, thank you so much. Linda Scott, thank you so much. And thank you to the board of the American Academy of Nursing for recognizing me with the Outstanding Leadership Award. I also want to recognize my sponsors from my honorary fellowship from 2 years ago, Tony Villarruel from UPenn, the one and only Dr. Barbara Nichols, and Heather Young. So thank you so much. I want to thank my boss, Dr. Susan Reinhart, who does amazing things stimulating public policy in terms of financial security, health and long-term care policy, and nursing through AARP's Public Policy Institute. And I really want to thank my family. Okay, so how awesome is it that we get to be together, another Quinnapalooza in the nation's capital with all of these amazing nurses, right? And I do love a good party. So, and thank you to Dr. Suzanne Miyamoto, the ever iconic and singular Dr. Suzanne Miyamoto and her staff for putting together an amazing and wonderful several days to recognize all of you here for all of the amazing work that you do, nurses, that you do day in and day out. And I thank you for all the work that you do. To my peers, my fellow honorary fellows, so I highly encourage you to get involved with the American Academy of Nursing if you're not already involved. They need our help. We are their champions. So, and there's something in it for you if you get involved too. You get to work with the likes of Barbara Nichols and my other friend and mentor, Dr. Alicia Georges, or people like Dr. Ann Gross, and you get to learn of the amazing work that she has done at Dana-Farber, where she has helped retain and strengthen her staff through looking at the employees that are there right in front of her. And also you get to meet people like the feminist and nursing historian Anne Lewinson. So there's a lot to be had for honorary fellows to get involved, and I highly encourage you to get involved. Moving on a little. So I want to recognize the 50th anniversary for the Academy. Congratulations. 1973 was a pivotal year, certainly for me. It was a year of some sadness, some awkwardness, and a lot of creativity. So sadly, one of my brother's best friends was tragically killed, and that grief still reverberates for many who knew and loved Paul. Awkwardly, so I was 11 years old for most of that year, and it was the first year I tried to kiss a girl. And she chose to jump off of a 10-foot wall instead. But we're still good friends to this day, so no harm done. And then creatively, it was a wonderful year in terms of popular culture. Elton John released Goodbye Yellow Brick Road 50 years ago yesterday. And the OJs released one of my favorite all-time songs, Love Train. So 1973. It also sparked the beginning of numerous national organizations. Among them are two organizations very dear to me, the National Gay and Lesbian Task Force and the American Academy of Nursing. Congratulations to the Academy on all that you do. You're more than 3,100 strong now, and congratulations for achieving that. I would like to talk a little bit about pride. Pride. So it's something that many of us don't own, right? Most of us from our cultures, regardless of the cultures that we're from, we're told the message to not brag. We shouldn't brag. My friend Barbara Nichols tells me that that's also prevalent in the nursing culture, to not brag. You're not allowed to brag. So I'm going to brag a little about pride. All right. So I'm proud of numerous things. I'm proud of my family and being a member of the family. I'm proud of being an out gay woman. I am proud, thank you. I am proud of the team of the AARP Center for Health Equity Through Nursing. And I am proud of nurses and all that you do. And so what I would like to do now is celebrate you. And I'm going to ask the members of my family and my friends who are here who are not nurses to please stand up. For the honorary fellows in the room to please stand up. For anyone who's in this room who is not a nurse to please stand up. And I would like us to give a standing ovation to all of the nurses here tonight. Thank you so much.
Thank you. That was beautiful. That was wonderful. Great. Are you okay with the steps?
I'm good.
Okay. Now it is my pleasure to transition our program to the Living Legends celebration, but first, I know you're hungry. Please enjoy dinner. You will notice on the screen the tributes that have been sent in from fellows and colleagues who wish to honor these incredible leaders of our profession. Enjoy dinner.